The next locator that we are going to look at is actually the XPath. So if you are coming from the Selenium background, you pretty much know very much about the XPath. Again, Playwright actually does not have a separate locator called as get element get by XPath. But in tacl, since this is one of also the commonly used locators, we have added an option, but as Playwright suggests and also as we suggest, XPath is definitely not actually a good option to go with if you have to identify an web element, as this could change a lot, which could basically increase your maintenance effort. But like CSS, if you don't have any other option, you can definitely go with XPath. Now, XPath is something which basically tells that from you in your DOM object in your HTML page right from the top, which is actually the unique path or the unique identifier to identify that particular element. Let's see some examples over here. Let's go back to the same example of Google's text box. And then now instead of actually copying the selector, you can see that Google Chrome also gives you an option of copying the XPath. Now, if I copy this XPath and then I'll go here and select actually the locator as XPath. And if I paste this, you would be able to see the XPath that the Chrome or the Google Chrome has come up with in order to uniquely identify it. Now, this is, as you can see, it's kind of very similar to what we actually had in the CSS selector. So when it was CSS selector, it was basically hash the ID. But in case of the XPath, it is starting with hash hash and then providing at ID is equal to something. But to go and then little bit understand this more in detail, let's take the same example of this tacl.io as a hyperlink. And if I'm now actually selecting the XPath of this, and then if I see how it looks like, you could see here it is actually saying HTML body div of 1 and A, the anchor tag inside the first div of the body. So now if you go here and then at the bottom, if you see, you would be able to kind of see that hierarchy. So from the HTML, inside the HTML, you're going to the body tag. Inside the body tag, you're taking the div. But now in the XPath, when it put as a bracket div of 1, what it meant is that maybe inside this body, you have more divs, but you are actually picking up the first div. So we can see here, this is very clear that inside the body you have a div and then you have a couple of script tags and then you have another div. So I wanted to actually pick the first div over here. Now inside the first div, you have actually an A tag. So this is exactly what is represented in the XPath when you're pasting over here. So it's HTML, inside the HTML, the body, inside the body, it's the first div, inside the first div, it's actually an A attribute. In case if there was more than one A tag, then probably this could have been A of 1 or A of 2. But that's how basically the XPath is. It basically tells in your DOM object hierarchically where that element is and how it could be located. And in Playwright, one of the most important thing is the XPath should always start with double slash. So if you are giving this with the double slash, now you would be locating this tacl logo with XPath using the tacl. And that's how you identify the element by XPath with tacl.